Have you ever noticed that Donald Trump, Steve Jobs, and Elon Musk, three of the most influential figures on the planet, they share one striking habit. In public, they almost never apologize. Growing up, most of us were taught, if you made a mistake, say sorry. So why don't these global power players do it? Is there a rule of persuasion the rest of us were never taught? Persuasion expert Scott Adams writes in Win Bigly.
High persuasion people rarely apologize because an apology shifts the frame and the power away from them.
And by the end of this video, you may have a clearer understanding of what an apology really does and why the power of not apologizing must be used carefully. There's a psychological principle called status signaling. The moment you apologize, over-explain, or justify, you send a low status signal, and the frame, the attention, and the power move to the other person. And whether you admire them or not, Trump, Jobs, and Musk understand this intuitively. Different personalities, same underlying strategy. Hold the conversational high ground and avoid being dragged into someone else's emotional battlefield. Let's look at 3 examples, each no more than a few lines, just enough to see the pattern. During the 2016 campaign, Trump was widely reported as ignoring calls for apology and repeating,
"We're going to build the wall. Mexico will pay for the wall."
He forced the conversation back to his battlefield, immigration, his chosen ground. In the Antennagate issue, Steve Jobs chose not to apologize. He reframed with,
"Smartphones aren't perfect, but we're working hard to improve them."
The focus flipped from blame to improvement, from crisis to vision. When facing criticism, Elon Musk rarely apologized. He pushed forward with,
"We're fixing it and moving forward."
the focus stayed on the future, not the fault. Let's be absolutely clear. In private relationships, sincere apologies are healthy, mature, and essential. Scott Adams' insight is not about everyday life. It applies only to moments when someone is pushing you into a lower status position. You're facing subtle workplace power games. You must protect a core principle in negotiation or public communication. In these situations, apologizing doesn't solve the problem. It simply hands over your leverage. So here are 3 practical non-apology alternatives that neither provoke nor submit. Clarify expression, not your worth. Let me phrase that more clearly. Shift from emotion to action. Let's look at the most effective solution now. Use gratitude instead of apology. Thanks for waiting. Instead of, sorry I'm late. These aren't about avoiding responsibility. They're about keeping the frame steady, so the conversation stays productive. Although this entire episode is inspired by Scott Adams' book Win Bigly, in my own private life, I do apologize when I was wrong, directly, clearly, sincerely, because I never intended to sit at the power game table. I'm just an ordinary person trying to make videos that are helpful, thoughtful, and worth your time. If they resonate with you, I hope you'll stay. This is the Alice. I'll see you in the next episode.